What's up, fellow gamers? Welcome back to Let's Play Cybernet's Flashpoint. Today's episode is a simple procedurally generated mission. The reason I am recording is because a lot of our A team is down for the count, in that they are currently, the Cyber Knight and my primary soldier are both currently in cyber surgery, so they can't go on this mission. Additionally, they added a patch today where they let military security and megacorp factions spawn with upgraded unit types. The same as the change they made last week for street factions spawning with upgraded unit types. And so this is my first time playing a mission with these rules. I don't even know what the enemies are on this map right now. We've got an Assassinate VIP mission, which should create a decent amount of pressure for getting around the map, and overall I just think should be pretty interesting overall with, again, two understudy characters, as well as two understudy characters and upgraded enemy types. So we'll see what happens. Again, VIP is going to be showing up. We will know their exit at the end of turn 2, and then, or at the end of turn 1, beginning of turn 2, and at the end of turn 2, beginning of turn 3, they will spawn themselves. This is for Diego. If we get it in under 11 turns, he gets 20 influence, which will be good. So far in this room, we've got pretty normal stuff. These are the basic guards. Looks like they have the normal stats they normally have. These snipers got better armor about 2-3 weeks ago, so they're a little bit stronger, but, you know, potentially there's going to be stronger stuff down there. His map has 2 matrix hosts. We bought the red keys, so we're going to be able to open the doors no problem. Instead of our Cyber Knight, we've got a Vanguard, so say hello to Centaur, who's got Glasswalker, Lure, Jam Kit, and Anticipation. Seems decent overall, has one of the eagle sights. Obviously, Sparklight going to be the replacement soldier, so also all the normal soldier tools. But of course, we are without Rewind, which should matter a little bit. We also finished crafting the 2 composite autoliths, and so we've got quiet-ish SMGs. So we can see that burst fire damage, 161 plus 48, is better than my old pistol we're doing. Some armor shred. Ultimate range of 17 is okay, not amazing. Noise of 19 isn't too bad for a post silencer, so that's pretty reasonable. So right, again, 161 plus 48 is the number to remember. Alternatively, 93 plus 21 times 3 is the full auto. Obviously the accuracy there is 88%, but I can't deal with the recoil there, right? If I stay single target, I get the focused fire buff, I get to ignore recoil, I can spend 5 AP shooting 3 times, and that's what, 580 damage, 480 damage ballistic, 150 damage pure, with, you know, solid crit damage. Should be pretty decent overall. If I go full auto, I could probably only spend 3 AP. I probably won't have 6 to shoot, but if I do, 300 ballistic, about 61 pure. So, you know, depending on AP costs, right, it will or won't be better or not. Ultimately, right, if I have exactly 3 AP, 2 shots single target is probably just better than 1 full auto. So I'll have to keep the sort of focused fire buff in mind, and I might end up doing quite a bit of single target with the SMG. If you want to compare to the upgraded pistol I've got, right, we've got the level 5 steel shots there, 220 plus no pure. That's definitely worse damage. Range is 3 meters better, sure, but this noise isn't any better, and yeah, it doesn't have the full auto option. But the accuracy is, of course, very, very good, and the stealth crit also very, very good. So anyway, plan's going to be probably kill all 3. This camera's going to be annoying, but I'm going to go ahead and hack for free loot. Leave the hacker here, have the team advance forward. They despawn the gold key loot here. I'm going to predict, spawn in here, run there, something like that. I don't know. It's a pure random guess, right? I'm obviously starting here already. The other entrance points are going to be, you know, this place. This might be one, maybe. I think I've seen this as like a spawn point. This is likely to be one. This actually might get taken over as a VIP one. I can see that happening. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, yeah, coordinated charge. I guess we should let these guys waste their turns first. I think that's pretty much free upside. This should count as decent enough cover that I'm not too worried about it. I am not in anticipation range. That is a downside against having a Cyber Knight. Is look ahead has a much greater range. Either way, we get our 1 pop coordinated charge. Delay. Let the guards move. Should be safe. Yeah, they did go 4, but we're not in vision range. You're just turning around, and then the sniper, what are you doing? Going off to the right. Okay, cool. So, yeah, you're not in visual range, not a big concern. Of course, I want to get my sniper there if I can. Motion detector will see me, so gotta be careful about that one. Because I don't have that like same gigantic flood of action points. This is going to be a little bit slower going, a little bit harder to do overall. I guess I should focus on these guys. That's probably what's correct here. So, without the AP printing the game, it's a little bit harder, I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Am I going to be JTAC? Like, so the question I have for myself is, from where am I going to fight? right? If I JTAC, let's say like something like this, we can fight from right here and shoot these guys. We can also fight from over here and shoot that guy. So this kind of location I think is probably correct. We can even shoot a little bit farther to the right here. That will probably get my entire team pretty well. The consideration here is, do I want to go silenced and really try to make sure the enemies aren't going to know? Because this noise radius is 52 meters, which is beyond the detection radius. So I'm really tempted to just try going for SMGs and seeing how it goes, because I haven't really gone for this before, right? It's my first time equipping these, so, you know, I kind of want to know how it's going to go. So I figure standing there seems reasonable. Double checking some range things real quick, because so my max range is 26, optimal is 17. So yeah, if I run to here, you're at 25 meters. It's going to be horrible for accuracy. So I'm tempted. So it's like if I go to here, I can full auto twice, but the range is going to suck for that. If I go to here, I can full auto once and like single target once, and that's like kind of crappy. But it's also sort of my best option. He's going to see me. I can't stealth crit anyway. I'd like the accuracy, but I think this is going to be fine. So you see me. I'm going to Iron Grip for some pure damage and deleting recoil. Accuracy going to be pretty solid here. Crit chance 39% isn't too bad. No one else is going to hear it, which is pretty positive. Yep, really solid crits here. Of course, I get to recoup, which is kind of nice. And so, can I burn down to 1 action point? Yes, I'm probably going to do that then. That should be pretty safe to go all the way up here, then shoot him with my 1 remaining AP. Yeah, these guys almost certainly would have heard the gun, but I'm pretty sure, yep, they cannot hear this gun, right? This guy is 20 meters away, and this gun's noise radius is only 14, so it's really not close. We're definitely getting this kill. We're getting the guaranteed glancing hit. We even get a guaranteed glance at 60%. Alright, down you go. Of course, we have really, really good crit chance, and so there's guards dead while quiet. I'm going to try to take this one down with the Vanguard, if I can help it. Of course, your turn is dead. I'm going to have you run toward this. Does it matter which way I go? Not really. I'm going to actually have you wait and stop short. I also need you to jam kit this camera, so how can I do this well? Yeah, so this is going to be kind of annoying doing everything the right way, but I need to jam this camera. This camera's going to turn pretty soon. So take you down. I'm going to take this down as well, just because I know it's going to be annoying. And the nice thing is I can go right here and get an attack. So it's not going to be the sickest attack you've ever seen, but I have a chance at a stealth crit. If I have anticipation, no, it's not in range, darn. I wanted to bump the crit chance here and increase the odds of one-shotting him. Yeah, no crits. I should be fine to deal with this, but it's not a complete guarantee. Also of note, I now know more about the enemy guard composition and who would be in range of what. Now that I've walked up to here, I have a pretty good understanding of where these guys are. And the fact that you're 60 meters away now, but 56 meters away from this point, means I'm not worried about the efficacy here. Yep, I can clearly hit you. I'm going to go for the Iron Grip for a little bit of bonus damage. I'm not in marker sight's range. Full auto looks decent. Gonna get seen by the camera, probably. I expect that to tick over at some point. Surely that camera will eventually register that it's seen something. Yep, there we go. It happened. So, there's a few boxes. This actually might be an oversight. I'm going to tag this as a bug. Because I think this is the only loot box here. They typically despawn loot boxes on assassination missions. So I'm going to send this. Potential bug. 1 lockbox on VIP assassination. On, I think it's gated Enclave. Sorry, it's, yeah, on gated Enclave. Yeah, this lockbox is all alone. Intentional? I'll wait for it to send, and then we'll move on and clean up whatever else we can. There we go. All right. Feedback submitted. And I probably just want to go with the rest of the team forward like this. I think that's going to be the most optimal thing to do. So off I go this way. And then we'll... Thing is, until these doors get open, the guards, even if they get sent somewhere, can't do anything about it. So the AI may try to send somebody to go investigate why there's a corpse in front of that camera, but it's not going to do anything. No one's going to even move because they can't path there. Alright, well, solid first turn. Of course, 5 tally a turn is pretty gnarly. Yeah, so orders received, you have been told to investigate a body, and you will almost certainly do nothing. Alright. We got the exit route planned. They are getting to over there. Okay, so yeah, their spawn point scares me. Because if they spawn here, we've got to cut all the way across to get to them. If they spawn here, we can actually catch them pretty easily. But I'm betting pretty strongly this is their spawn in point. So we'll have to get through here in the next, like, 3 turns, which I don't think is going to be too hard. But it is going to be kind of required. I also believe this is going to be a red host. I believe I was told they're red hosts. Yeah, okay, Orange Pit Viper. Pit Viper is a red AI, but the host is called Orange. So Spoof and Scapegoat all seem reasonable. Gonna load these 6 programs every time. And, okay, we get slightly better tokens here. Fireballs with actually 2 active ice is slightly nicer. It's a lot of these. We don't tend to get the scarier ones. Let's see. I care about tally more than connection health, and then have to kill that no matter what. We're probably just going to nuke whatever's here. Well, or zero enough and move on. I guess we'll see what's actually in this location. Use a program. This is not too bad. This is a little bit annoying. This isn't too bad overall, actually. I don't care too much here. I'm just going to zero interrupt because I can. And then I'm just going to go ahead and drop this. Null op. All 4 are gone. Hit the scan. I'm not going to underflow as much as I would want, but I don't really care. It's good enough for me. And then I'm going to go, let's see, what is attached here? 2 doors. I'm down to hack all 3 laser gates. That seems fine with me. If I have enough loading space, I'll put in dragline, getting through here and knocking this down. So scan for the neighbors. This seems fine here. Tally, then AP seems reasonable. Scan. I need to get active ice here because of this stuff. And that means I can't fit dragline yet. So I'm going to go this way, then up. And that should be decent. Alright, load a program, no big deal. Damage to Cyberdeck, download access. Okay, that's all pretty chill. And then I've got active and trap ice to deal with this stuff, no problem. So this should be easy to clear. Load a program, load a program. That's going to be annoying because I want to load dragline, so I have to kill everything here. But obviously kill you guys. Drop these both down, and then next turn I'll load dragline and then hack them all. That should be half decent. We've already used both of our spoof tokens now, if I recall correctly. So I am going to be losing out on. What am I losing out on? My brain is blanking. Sorry. We're going to get an escalation when I hit security level 3. It's not the end of the world. There's not that much else to go for. I don't need to hack these doors open, but I'm going to take the loot. And I'm going to, again, load up dragline and take this all down. Alright, that should be a decent second turn. I can always yield to get there. Regular guard. Regular guard. No point in hacking that camera. I'm going to wait until the guards waste their turns. Right, no reason to be spicy here. We have a guard bladesman, so he's a little bit tanky. But it's not the most upgraded bad guys here, since, you know, we're PL7, the guards are PL10. And we've only gotten a couple upgraded types, right? One bladesman, one sniper. It's nothing too spicy, but that's fine. How do I want to play this out? Because I'm not going to have a good turn yet. Actually, you know what? I shouldn't have run the way I did because I wanted to use 3 AP to reload. That was a bit of a mistake. I think I'm going to leave this closed until next turn, though. I think it's basically free upside to wait until we can all kind of alpha strike all at once. So I'm going to spend a bunch of effort running everyone forward, reloading, things like that, and being ready to go. I could also, this actually might be correct here, I might want to lure everyone together to, actually, you know what, yeah, if I try to run up a bit, like I go to here, what I want to kind of do is group them all in the same area, so I get one really, really good full auto. So if I go to here, I have 1 AP left. I want to have maximum AP for running away later, or I just say, well, I don't get everyone. Like, I can't... I'm actually not sure I can catch this guy and that guy over there. Like, I'm looking at the circle, and I'm like, if I could go directly east, I could do it. If I'm heading down towards here, I'm not sure that gives me enough distance to catch what I want. So I might just be like, screw it, this guy's not getting caught in the circle. And I might just drag this whole group up towards the middle, and it'll be good enough. I think that's the play. I think I will group these 4 into this location. And that'll make a full auto pretty strong for the future turn. And I'm going to leave her here so that she can open the door. She's the least useful combatant. And again, no reason to rush opening the door until next turn. So we'll let them group up. If it turns out the, guards, like, if it turns out the VIP spawns, like, here or something, and I can, like, intercept them early, cool, I'll run up this way instead, but that'll be kind of the plan. Also, Glasswalker, which is a nice reason to bring the Vanguard. My entire team gets +1 AP and 7 initiative for this and next turn. Enemy VIP spawns. Let's see what we get. Oh, it's right there. That's so fortunate. That, oh, they have Pobots, and looks like a guard shotgun. Or actually, that's not going to be Pobots, it's going to be straight up, what are they called? Mechs? I mean, it's Mech Infantry, I think is going to be the actual name. Yeah, so 1,500 health after modification, right? So, what is that? 1,030 baseline, 5 protection points, 82 armor. 500 health baseline, 85 armor, 600 health baseline, 80 armor. Like, these guys are very tanky. They are thankfully only suspicious, as there are no living guards who have been told anything but to be a little bit concerned by the AI. These guys getting pulled away, which is good. But yeah, this is basically, it's like I sure hope I have the damage, and the thing is, I will not have savagery for this turn. If I could choose to wait a full turn and then hope it's going to be enough. Glasswalker will still be on, I believe, for the next turn as well, or did that change? Yeah, I see Glasswalker only on for this turn. I could have sworn Glasswalker normally lasted 2 turns. Maybe I'm really silly about this, but I could have sworn. It doesn't say that. Maybe I didn't spend the other talent point to increase duration, or I'm dumb and there's not actually duration increase and I'm misremembering. That's entirely possible as well, to be honest. I could have sworn Glasswalker used to last 2 turns. Maybe I'm just incorrect about that one. Regardless, it is correct to have all these guards use their turns instead of running out into here, making a bunch of noise, getting shot in the back. I'm glad I kept this door closed. Makes it a lot easier to do my job. One consideration I have is to make sure that Code Block can buff my team at the right amount of time. So, right, you can yield to 4, you can yield to 7, you can yield to 6, you can yield to 4. And, 6 is the first one going. It's, behind all these guys. That's all going to be reasonable. So they're all going to move first. Then I can throw down Strike Zone and everything else. Code specifically will be ahead of him and behind Code Block. So he will actually have to yield. Actually, only if I'm able to finish hacking this turn, I can yield then delay and get behind Code Block. Otherwise, I'll be stuck. So I'll have to do a little bit of planning there. Also, what I'm going to do, since I want to guarantee some extra damage here, I'm going to pre-cast Anticipation on 2 of these guys for the 10 crit vulnerability. It's not a lot of power, but these guys are incredibly tanky, so 10 crit chance is 10 crit chance, So that's fine. You're on a real patrol. You're incidentally going towards everyone else's, which is kind of funny. What's nice is Glasswalker is very likely to pop even next turn. Actually, it looks like it's guaranteed next turn. Right, so let's go ahead and Dragline. I'm going to load this as well, actually, in case things are going to be scary. But here's Dragline. Overclock 2 in action is fine. Hack Laser Mesh 1. Hack Laser Mesh 2. Hack Laser Mesh 3. Those should all be down for like 7 or 8 turns now. I'm going to go take the other loot now. 1 active, 2 passive. Should be no big. That's fine at all. 10 kitchen health versus 4 AP. I don't care about kitchen health right now, so we'll go this way. Here's the last thing. I might need more trap destruction. But I also potentially just have nuke. I'm tempted to just go use nuke on this, and it'll probably be decent. So I'm going to do that. It's a little bit risky, but I think it'll be fine. Load a program, download, and download. Okay, I don't have to care about this at all, actually. I'll just leave nuke loaded. Download and download. Go away. Look up ice. That's annoying. I'm just going to nuke it. YOLO. I think that killed everything, so it is what it is. Yep, it's all gone. Connection health is going to be okay still. And I'm still left with more than enough AP. So that nothing really got damaged. I didn't lose any health. I didn't lose any Cyberdeck health. We're completely chilling. Yeah, nothing to be really worried about here. So I can take my disconnect. And I'm going to do a yield, not a delay. A yield puts me at 15 initiative, which means I can delay down to 5 initiative and go cleanly last. Which means I don't have to worry about this. I can use JTAC when it's actually time to go, because everyone can fully delay past him. They, of course, are all running toward Lure. Maybe Lure is the right way of pronouncing that word. Whatever. I don't think it matters too much. Ideally, you don't get to trigger this motion sensor. It's not a big deal, but I'd like to turn those off. Also, the camera turned on and saw my entire team. Unlucky is what it is. Yeah. Not that it really matters, but I'll turn it back off. Alright. Let's have everyone go have their turns. You're going over that way. Good for you. Alright. VIP on the move. Oh, we turned them all alert. And of course we're in Overwatch. Yeah, so there is some kind of bug, it feels like, where the captain will use, like, Rallying Cry, and it turns his team alert, and I feel like it's not supposed to. It tends to happen with Corpo. Yeah, so Corpo captain woke his whole team up and turned them alert, despite not seeing anything. So it's specifically using Rallying Cry. This is pretty consistent for Corpo / Milsec Guard Captain VIPs. They use Rallying Cry and it turns their whole group alert instantly, no matter even if they were only suspicious. Yeah. Alright. Thankfully, we have ways of breaking Overwatch, but... Alright, cool. Right, alright, so... Strike Zone gets rid of Overwatch. See ya, nerds. Yep. Obviously, the team wants to be in JTAC when fighting. So, we now have that. One thing I just realized is that she's blocking the entrance to the red key. That is a really big deal that I didn't think about. And I don't have a good way around that. I like truly don't have a way to get around that, right? Like, I could basically go here and, you know, throw down marker sites and debuff them, but actually, what I can do actually, if I yield, Matrix AP is gonna be too tight. So Code would have exactly 40 base AP when he reconnects, which would be, the SU would be turned back on. I would have 2 charges of null op. Just getting to the security or the remote control unit would take at least 10 AP of movement. But that would allow my sniper the ability to fight on this turn. Honestly, I think I'll be okay without it. I'm just gonna, you know, be sad. Like, yeah, I screwed up here. I'm just gonna end my turn. He'll have high initiative for next turn, so he'll go first. It'll be fine. And then I'm going to have to yield to get behind Centaur. Have her open the door. Here, let's marker sites the other guy that we didn't debuff yet. That's going to be you. Actually, I'm going to save it as an Overwatch blocker. I'm going to yield. Have Centaur open the door. And we aren't shooting the guard captain. But the best I have is walk here, obviously be spotted. I mean, they're already alert, so they already know. But it's just shoot the assault rifle a couple of times and hope your damage is okay. This, I mean, again, thankfully I'm winning an initiative, but yeah, this is going to get pretty gnarly. Alright, let's hope we shred some armor. Let's hope we deal some decent damage. I don't have savagery for this turn. Those crits are nice, though. 80%. Shredding some armor. Decent. Pretty solid damage overall. Obviously making a ton of noise. They're all going to go investigate this. They've heard enough gunfire that they're not They're not like, oh, was that something funny? It's like, no, it's for sure full combat. But you have 7 AP, so walking out is very reasonable. What's interesting, though, is these guys aren't the scariest ones because their initiative rolls aren't very good. So you can potentially clean them up on a future turn. I'm not sure it's correct to do it that way, but that is a way to think about it. But also, again, I don't really have a ton of damage right now. I will have, like, next turn, I will have exactly, I think, 6 or 7 AP, which is like, well, I'm not going to have recoup back. So, I mean, I might just go for the SMG afterwards. Actually, I have a question, actually. Do I potentially do more damage here? So, 6 bullets versus 9 bullets. And this is 161 plus 46, or 168 plus 46. And this is 93 plus 21. This does roughly double damage. And this just has more bullets. So the AR is better. Yeah. Now, maybe if this wasn't silenced, if I had a damage muzzle on it, or a damage barrel on it instead, maybe. But so the thing is, because these guys have like really, really low initiative, it might be better to try to kill these guys instead. Like, it actually might just be superior to maximize shooting these guys and then rely on these initiative rolls to pretty much, actually, and it's, yeah, I'm just pretty sure kind of guaranteed, to then go here and try to clean this out. That's feeling pretty decent, to be honest. It's feeling like a pretty solid plan. You're going to be annoying because you're in half cover, but everyone else is pretty chill. I'm trying to get good line of sight like this, where I'm hitting 4 people. Slight improvement. Everyone's going to get a gun, is what it is. What's the right choice? What's the right choice? What's the right choice? I think it is killing these guys who have high initiative. I'm going to take the pure damage and less recoil generation. I'm going to shoot these 4 guys. This is decent accuracy, at least. There's the recoup action points. So we go again, try to clean up a bunch of these guys. Okay. I am out of ammo, so I'll reload here. And then next turn is going to be just being hopeful with savagery. Running out into the open, I think, is actually fine. It gives me better line of sight on more enemies, unless we use an action point here. If I go to there... There we go. If I go right there, I have line of sight on those 3 and... Well, no, it's not quite there. It's... here. I want this guard shotgun to be in the group. This guard captain's up at 17. It's not too horrible. But we're going to stand you right here. You're just going to wait. Thanks to Glasswalker, your initiative's going to be decent. Yeah, it's not too bad. Okay, Hacker's just going to get closer. Can't do anything else. I think, yeah, is what it is. Let's hope he gets Glasswalker and feels good about it. 1 tally, not a big deal. 10 to 20. Glasswalker pops second time. Alright. Reduce body timers. Okay, whatever. We're just going to escalate again. It's no big deal. Again, our primary consideration is turn 11. Yep, there's our plus initiative. Thank you, Glasswalker. We have 1 AP again. So now this guy can actually fight. Whoops. Whoops for last time. I want to... Yep, right here allows me to actually have 6 AP to shoot twice and put this guy in the crosshair. Now, of note, though, yeah, you're not going for a while and you're pretty far away. I'm not worried about you getting into range to shoot me. That's just not going to be possible. Same for you. You're the only scary one, followed... I mean, the entire team's going first, right? Like, my team goes before their team, so their initial counts don't really matter here. But still, this seems like an appropriate spot to go. This guy can get savagery and 1 charge of recoup, so what I'm going to go for, actually, is shoot this side to trigger savagery. So that I have all my bonus damage. Right, we're going to get probably 2 of these kills. Oh, let me pre-guess Iron Grip. More damage, no recoil. There we go. I'm pretty much guaranteed 2 of these kills. I'm guaranteed 1 of them. I'm likely guaranteed the second. Or I'm likely to get the second. Likely guaranteed is not how English works. And now with Savagery on, it's not counting my crit chance, but my crit is actually guaranteed. I'm going to actually put in a feature request for that. Feature request. When I have 100% crit chance, update the damage preview. Once it's a guarantee. And similarly, if I have 0% accuracy, but am guaranteed to glance, could you update the damage preview with the new guaranteed rolls? Something like that. That should make enough sense. Yeah, I do love that we stacked 55% crit vulnerability from Anticipation and Strike Zone and Marker Sights. But Guard Captain might get one shot here. We'll see. Yep. Mission complete. Savagery's pretty good. And the thing is, like, yeah, okay, he got that kill with Savagery. Huh, okay. That was interesting. I hit spacebar to move up through the dialogue and it went for attacks. I mean, I don't mind. It was useful, but that was a little unexpected. It's fine. A solid 1,000 pure damage. It's pretty good. And then here's our exit. I'm going to probably run through here for the free loot. Right, I feel like I might as well. You're done. If I can, I guess I want to make less noise if possible. No point in making more, oh. Yeah, you suck at killing this guy because he never shredded his armor. Yeah, that was kind of pitiful, actually. Oh, well. Oh, it's weird. I have 2 blue lines. Oh, weird. It's because she... I don't understand why there's 2 blue lines here. That's very odd. Not a big deal, but that surprises me. We never shredded his armor. Yeah, our damage here sucks. Okay, well, whatever. Yeah, 36 damage a shot. Okay, we're going to go back to the AR, because this is clearly not tenable. The SMG is better. This will actually look half decent. But I also believe... Yeah, I actually believe single shot's going to be superior here. It retains the accuracy pretty well. Okay, I should have just gone for the AR from the start. This is just not ideal. Yeah, he's dead, but... Yeah, okay. Should have just been loud, to be honest. I should wait. Oh, it was probably because of the weird camera turning stuff. It like moved their health. Yeah, here I can recenter their. No, they're still kind of floating and weird. All right, the camera got kind of funky. I assume because of getting a kill while in a dialogue thing. Like everyone's just a little bit off-centered. It's kind of funny. Whatever. I'm gonna have you yield. Let these guards move. Great, they've moved. We're still winning an initiative, so I'm not gonna be too worried about it. Just gonna run you up here. You can easily shoot him next turn. Well, okay, I care more about the host than I care about the loot box. Let's go this way instead. I was wrong. Oh, we have one that's drawing to the health bar and one's drawing to him. That's so weird. Okay, whatever. It doesn't matter. Either way, I'm pretty clearly in range there, so sounds good. I could also choose not to go for the Matrix host here. It doesn't really matter. It's safe, it's finish guaranteed. In other news, they posted the Face class preview a couple days ago. So it's coming out. So I went back and looked when they posted the Gunslinger class preview, when the class actually came out, and it was about 2.5 weeks. So I'm expecting sort of early April would be my guess then of when Face comes out, which I'm pretty excited for. Also, that shred is really useful. Now he's easy to kill. Thanks, game. I'm just gonna go for this kill. I don't want to risk things being annoying. He's low enough that I can run up. You're a little scary. Okay, I'm gonna run up to here. Wow, nice shot. Using cover too. Let's see. Am I worried about these guys? A little bit. I should walk to at least some level of cover. Let's put you here. It's funny. The like UI is like really desynced now. from that weird camera move. Oh, we have coordinated charge available. Alright, let's buff the entire team now, I guess. I don't want to waste any of my guys' action points doing it this way. Without bonus move speed, I should say. Alright, guards the move. Yep, you're investigating. Good for you. You're going back that way. Okay, nothing too scary. And then... best I've got is pistol. Let's see, what's your initial roll? 15? Okay, I'm not worried. You're not going to be scary yet. You're definitely not going to be scary yet. I think I can go here and it's going to be fine. I'm going to walk up. I'm going to pre-Iron Grip. I'll have Iron Grip for next turn too if I need it. This will be decent damage. Yeah, range is a real consideration. You saw I'm minus 16. Like, this is not even that far of a shot, right? This guy's not that far away. But I'm minus 16 accuracy from range being an issue. So I'm going to go here. If I get lucky, he dies. I'm actually really considering marker sites to try to guarantee this kill. I think it's worth it. Decent chance at getting it. Nope. I rolled low on damage. That's too bad. If I had Iron Gripped, he probably dies. I should have really considered it. We get Glasswalker back up. We get reinforcements. Probably going to be high quality. We are against Arrowhead, which means they have... it's mostly corporate units, but they also have drones. Most Milsec factions won't spawn drones. Sorry, most Corpo ones won't spawn drones, but Milsec ones will. So, hooray for that. Goodbye to you. I should be cautious around this guy's movements, although with him having a sword, I think he's useless. I think he can't damage me, and these guys are way too far away to care. So, I'm going to say, let's greed for the loot. We'll send the hacker over, but we're going to delay. Yeah, everyone can, except for a Sparklight. I'm going to have to do, let's see... I don't have a good way of doing yield shenanigans to get this guy in a good spot. I can't... Yeah, that's too bad. Oh well. It's just going to be awkward overall. We can't get him to the exact right spot. We can't do the correct yielding. It is what it is. Actually, no, there was a way. If I had done a delay on code block, a yield on code block to put him to 16 behind Sparklight, no, that still would have been possible, because he would still have been blocked by this guy. So take it back. It wasn't going to be possible to do that. Whatever, we'll do the delays, we'll get most of the guards to move. Figure out what they're all up to. Okay, he's going the wrong way anyway. This guy's not dangerous, these guys aren't going to be dangerous yet. I should take this time to reload. It's a reasonably safe time to do all that kind of stuff. You're in a kind of scary spot. I should have actually thought about that before I moved the way I did. Gotta make a bunch of noise killing this guy now, but we've got to kill that guy. These guys aren't going to endanger me in time. They have to get all the way around. So we'll just take the shots here. I'm not going to precast Iron Grip only for one attack. It's a crit, but not... Oh, recouped. Okay. I'm going to Iron Grip then to get the recoil back, get his kill cleanly. I think it's worth it. Still not quite dead. Obviously, they heard a ton of gunfire, so they're very angry. And I'm just going to run him... I'm going to stand you there. It's fine. Alright, last guard moves. No big deal. You will have to reload. Let's put you here then, which gives you one pistol shot. We'll put you as close to the shot as we can, so we'll put you there for one pistol shot. What I'm going to do is reload the AR and then shoot the pistol. Just want to make sure I was going to be in pistol range, and I am. So reload the AR down to 1. I can now use the 1 action point, 1 AP remaining pistol shot. Not guaranteed to land, but 60%. Got what we came for. Never shredded his armor, but he got low enough. And so the hacker runs full tilt. He'll get there next turn, no problem. Yeah, easily gets there with 1 AP spent next turn, which is going to be more than enough to do half the host. I'm probably going to bother going for these lockboxes. These wires are still down for 4 more turns. It should be enough to probably disable this one still, because I think my hacker's going to be in a weird spot. I think he might take too long to get out there, but that's okay. Let's take all our reloads. And I'm actually feeling relatively safe where I'm standing now. I'm probably going to stand here. They won't be able to see me. I'm going to stand here, take my reloads. I'm going to have Strike Zone back. We're getting a ton of security level. We'll be pretty cleanly done by turn 11. I think this will be no problem to get the host and then still get out. I think I'm not worried. I will have Coordinated Charge on for turn 9. That should be functional. Everything should be pretty okay here. Preemptive duck, although I shouldn't need it. Orders received, because of course. Sigma 5 Security AI. There's, I think, a Sigma 5, 6, and 7, as well as a Syndicate security AI. I think there's a Street security AI as well. I think those are the only 5 or 6 I can think of. 5. And they have slightly different types of escalations they'll do. They have different tendencies, basically. Again, I feel pretty safe where I'm standing, even though I'm kind of out in the open. I just don't think they're going to be able to turn the corner. Well, actually, ooh, if you run around this way, you can shoot me. So I'm going to stay right here. I'm going to stay ducked. And I'm going to wait to see if they rock this way instead. Because they might. Alright, you're going that way. At full tilt. You see her. That's fine. Okay. Sword guy does the same thing. Yep, you're not special. Alright. Are you in the same place? Okay, you're not going at full tilt. So you're not going to go as far. Cool. And then the other guy, you just cannot be dangerous. I'm just not going to worry about this. This seems like a decent enough JTAC. And then for fun, let's use our new toys. So we're going to go SMG. It's going to be a little bit annoying because I can't line up my action points as much as well as I would like to. Oh well. We'll go ahead and for the precast iron grip, I'm going to... I kind of want to marker sights this just to make it a little bit easier. I figure we'll do it. I'm going to save strike zone for a more important turn, like if they summon more meaningful guards. Decent crit, decent shred. That makes this a lot nicer. Thank you, Recoup. Thank you for the shred. And because we have so much recoil... I mean, I have 4 recoil here. That's wild. I mean, the innate recoil is 26, and I'm just taking none. There's some weird stacking of minus recoil and percent recoil where you just aren't generating any, right? And I know it's not just Iron Grip overflowing. Like, I've tested this very briefly, and it's not like you can go into negative 17 and then generate it back. There's just some amount of, like, flat recoil suppression that's, like, hidden somewhere. That's just, like, it's like the percent is happening first, then all the flat reductions, or something like that. I don't know what it is exactly, but something is, you know, a little funny. Either way, the team's going to go exit from this way, so I'm just going to run in that direction. Because that's where exit is, as I said. Let's run you away from his ears, because why not? That looks pretty good. There should be no problem at all. Down they go. Yep. Camera sees a body. Oh well. Run you toward the exit. I've got enough ammo to be hanging out for a while. I could have done things better and sequenced them and turned that camera off sooner. I didn't because I'm bad. Is what it is. Put you there. Have you reload your pistol, and we'll just wait for you to do something at some other point in time. Yeah, you're fine where you are. Alright, let's hack for free loot. I like free loot. Spend a movement point on it, no big deal. Alright, so CPU down here, sure. I guess we'll start going down, then go back up the other way. Load all the normal stuff. Okay, what active to passive? Sure, we'll go in this order. Scan for stuff. This seems fine. Tally AP connection. Pretty normal stuff there. Probably just going to end up zero interrupting this. Yeah, these are all really annoying. Okay. Well, I know the CPU is going to be right here. I'm just going to double tap. Actually, probably single tap. Yep, they're all gone. Right at escalation. Seems good enough to me. I've got passive and trap destruction, so we can go this way. Use a program, downloaded account. Okay, got to do all of them. I've got enough of everything here that I'm fine. There's the first 5 downloads. Second group, one of everything, so I'm going to go top right. I have 1 active, 1 trap. So if this is like a double trap that I care about, it's going to be hard to deal with. So this gives me the chance to offload this correctly and then reload the program, no problem. So sometimes when you have this fork here, you want to kind of think about it, right? When you use a program, relocate, I have to burn this. I'll take this down second. And then, unfortunately, I am IO starved, so I don't have... I mean, I could have actually ignored this, to be honest. Because 10 damage Cyberware can take any action. It's just going to take down, like, 4 deck shield, which I have 39 of, who cares? They're going to let me take down 1 more download on this turn with the leftover AP. Because I'm out of IO, I couldn't load programs instead. I would have been okay with doing that, right? Leave this the way it is, load these 2, load something like Attack or Dragline or whatever. That wasn't possible because of how much IO I've already spent. Oh well, that's fine. Reinforcements. I assume they will not be terribly scary. Looks like 2 fire comes in a shotgun. They're not close enough for me to care. I'm just not worried about it. And that is just fine with me. Okay. Well, we should once again wait for you to do your job. Or if you're going to do anything, cool, you're not close enough, don't care. You should be done hacking, probably. It'll be close on this turn. 4 per action is probably good enough. Disabled, these are all disabled. So I'm going to go reload this stuff. Now I have 2 charges of the trap. That's still at 4. This was at 2. This one would have been the easier one. When you download, when you take any action. So again, this is one where I could have loaded in its face, so it would have been fine. But I didn't know that. I'm going to go ahead and eat whatever's here. There's 2 passive nodes. So connection use can be ignored till the very end. So we'll take the tally, then the AP. I've got to load this no matter what. I'm probably just going to null up this, but I'll check. Right, there's... Maybe the traps aren't so bad. Yeah, one of the traps could easily be when you download, or like when you exit. Yeah, load a program, exit the node. And this is like... This is completely chill, right? So I can ignore most of this and just be like, oh, okay. No program loading? Got it. When you exit the node, be annoyed? Okay. Alright, what's around here? There is a trap there? Sure. I can take the download for free. No program loading. When you exit the node, restarts the ice. I don't even care about restarting the ice, right? I guess I... Actually, what's going to be annoying, the way it works is when I try to leave, it will wake up the trap. And I believe due to a bug, it'll also wake up this trap. And then I'll get minus 10 AP and plus 10 tally. And this will trigger all when I try to leave. I believe this will pop before I leave, not after I leave. I don't feel like expressing it in the recording. I could be wrong, but my recollection is that the bug works like this. So I'm just going to be taking this down. I don't want to... I mean, what I could do is disarm this, reload, disarm that, and then move forward. That's actually the better option. I should do it that way. I have to take this down too. That's fine. This is still taken down, right? So I got to, like, manually take down the entire SPU, which, you know, is cleaner. Anyway, use a program... I'm going to go ahead and ignore this because it doesn't matter. Well, I'm taking 2 per action. That's still fine, honestly. Just going to take the damage. I have to do it anyway because I want to disconnect. Okay. It was wasteful. It doesn't really matter, though. Alright, I have 4 AP left. I'm going to wait, though, and let this guy waste his turn. Where are you headed? Uselessly. Got it. Excuse me. Alright, great. That means we can start leaving. What is your initiative roll? 16. Do I have Glasswalker up? I don't know if it recharges before the turn starts. I guess we're going to find out together. But surely someone outrolls this guy and it's not going to be a problem. You heard me. I don't really care. We are security level 11 due to the amount of gunfire we've thrown in. Excuse me. Alright. Yeah, this is down for 2 more turns, so that drag line was pretty helpful. I'm going to turn off this camera. Probably should have done it at the start. This is gone now. Cost me 0 AP, kind of nice. Go to here. I'm going to try using Lure to move him away. It might not work the way I want it to, but I'm going to try anyway. Actually, it's a little bit early because he'll hear these footsteps and maybe change his mind. Bit of a mistake. Oh well, I don't really care. I'm going to have her stand near the exit. Excuse me. I'm going to actually just leave her here. I take it back. Somewhere relatively safe. Kind of out of the way. Alright. You need to run for the exit. I don't want to run through that guy if I can help it. Let's see. Yeah, next turn is coordinated charge. I'll be able to easily get out during that turn. So you're going to hear footsteps. That might change your pathing. Yeah, the whole team's going to be like in this room. And with coordinated charge, we're easily going to get out. This should be no problem at all. So we get out during turn 9. Okay, so Glasswalker will come back from cooldown and then pop. That's good to know. Matrix High Alert, obviously useless. I believe... No, I could be wrong about that one. I wanted to say only Corpo factions will do Matrix High Alert, but I think... Or Corpo or Milsec factions will go Matrix High Alert. But I believe that's incorrect. Either way, thanks to Glasswalker, we immediately have the highest initiative on the team, or in the game. I mean, it's a lot. Like, this is valuable. It just is quite good. I'm gonna double check that I like am not crazy and like have I either not learned the node for Glasswalker duration or is there really not Glasswalker duration? Because I could have sworn it used to last 2 turns. So Diego's happy. Diego is the guy who has the Rook Tech weaponry, and giving him 30 influence helps, so that he can limit break for Rook Tech weaponry again. That would be great. We got a lot of accounts, we got a lot of files, we got... Looks like none of these are blueprints that I can sell to Diego for more influence, which is too bad, but the best way to get Diego some influence is to get blueprints for weapons and weapon mods. Specifically weapons. I don't believe there are epic weapon mods other than the intrinsics. And then if so, we'd be pretty happy. So that's the mission, basically. No headhunters there just yet, but that's okay. The primary thing I'm going to try to do is do a bunch of save loads and have this mission spawn on the map that came out today. And so if I do things correctly, tomorrow's episode will be the new map. Obviously, I still can't really be challenged. Yeah, okay, Savagery's kind of OP, sure, but like, Savagery is not even why I really cleared that first room. Or the second room, I should say. I just think, you know, the guns are really good and the enemies don't scale as hard as the guns do. Regardless, oh, I also forgot to put people in the trainer. I meant to, and I just put no one in here. So these guys were meant to have earned XP, and I griefed and didn't do that because I'm silly and forgot. Either way, nothing else to really speak of. I guess we'll give a sort of quick recap on the roster, what I'm doing with it. So, I'm basically putting a display link on everyone. We can kind of scroll through and see that like anyone who's actually playing has they're either a hacker, or I'm giving them a display link. I think even the hackers, I think it's reasonable to give them display links as well. Just kind of put them down for a quick nap and do that. Just because they're in combat often enough. But yeah, I think display link is just the strongest combat augment. 3 accuracy, 6 crit chance. So 6 crit chance if you don't get any bonus crit damage is still you crit for 1.5x. So it's 3% damage from accuracy and 3% damage from crit damage, which is solid. But this puts you at 25 crit damage. So it's actually that 6 accuracy is 6% times 0.75, so it's more like 4.5. Okay, so it's 7.5% more damage. It's like not a huge amount, right? It's not like a gigantic deal, except that crit vulnerability is a relatively common stat. It's on Vanguard, it's on Soldier, at least crit chance itself is. It's on Cyberknight with Atomic Stutter. It's on Soldier in a couple of ways, right? You can get crit chance from Savagery, you can get it from Crosshair Lock, you can get it from Marker Sights, you can get it on Sniper through basically half their entire kit. The Sniper can donate to the entire team with things like JTAC and Strike Zone. It's like you've seen several times where I have like 110% crit chance because we stacked everything. Cyberknight has it also through Steamroll. Sorry, not Steamroll. The other one, Downer. And so it's like, it's not that hard to get like 50 crit chance or so on your team. And that means you're going from 1.5x damage to 1.75x damage half of the time, right? That crit damage mod is like a solid, what's the math, like 15% more damage? That's not quite right. It's like 10% more damage maybe, but it's like, oh, well, again, 3% from accuracy, 6% or so from, 4% or whatever from crit, 4% or whatever, 10% whatever from crit damage, depending on your actual crit chance, right? If you get 100% crit chance, it would be 1.5 becomes 1.75, so 1/6, 17% more damage. Up to 17% more damage, not bad. So hey, for a single like relatively cheap 11-day downtime thing to give you 3 + 4 + 17, okay, probably not actually 17, okay, 3 + 4 + 10, 8, whatever. Yeah, I'll take 15% or something total more damage for a pretty small amount of downtime. I mean, that's a full tier of weapon worth of damage, right? If you're picking the best weapons, you're getting 15% more damage from a weapon upgrade. If you're picking a mediocre weapon type, like maybe a shotgun, you're getting like 8% more damage per upgrade. So this is like 2 tiers of weapons in an augment. Cool. Yeah, seems pretty good. Seems pretty worth it, right? So that's the best one, as far as I'm concerned. The second best one does require you to have either maxed out imported or maxed out cybernetics. I don't know which one. I think it's imported. So you've got to get lucky on your limit breaks for the Scourge's dad. But SynthMuscle 2 is really sweet. Someone's got to have it, I think. I can also just get it. Yeah, SynthMuscle 2 is a solid 4 strength 4 reaction. Again, I don't think this is as good as the other options here, but I would put an attribute point at around like 0.5% more power per point roughly. I think like it's for sure less than 1% per point, I would say. Or like, slightly under 1%. I wouldn't put it over 1%, but I think about 1% is probably reasonable. If you're a hacker, maybe tech is more, because Matrix AP is just a good stat overall, and it still gives you crit chance for, when you're in real combat. So, okay, we can high roll it and say it's 1%. We can low roll it and say it's 0.5% per stat. Okay, well, SynthMuscle 2 is between, 4 and 8% more effectiveness. That's pretty good. I'll take that, right? That seems decent overall. I'm pretty all right with that one. And obviously, Neural Toner is sick for hackers, all wonderful stuff there. But yeah, we're all just getting... And then another option here that I think is a little bit less exciting, but still decent, it's okay, is Neural Accelerator 2. This one is actually relatively cheap to get. It's not too hard to get this one out of even like Dr. Ash or something. This actually might be in Implants too. I'm not certain of this. But, what it gives you for proactive damage is 3 attributes, right? You get 2% move speed from reaction, you get 1% crit chance from tech. It's decent, it's something, it's there. 3 flat initiative, actually really valuable. Ever since like 4 months ago, they buffed enemy initiative counts in the late game. You will be in situations where you hope you outroll your opponents, and sometimes you don't, and it's a big deal if you can. It can absolutely matter. It doesn't super often matter, especially when you have things like Coordinated Charge, Tactical Surge that bump initiative, or you've got a Vanguard with Glasswalker, so that like you're just never going to go last. But in a world where you like don't take those talents, either you don't know to grab them, or you don't want to grab all of the like the best stuff because the best stuff is overpowered. Great, Neural Accelerator is really, really good. There's not a lot of competition in this slot. There's basically nothing else for damage in this slot. So it's kind of a freebie in that you're not like sacrificing something else that might be good. And you're getting, again, call it 2% more power from attributes. Sure. 6% evasion, I don't think is text, right? I don't take damage, right? I've maxed out every slider I can possibly have for enemy combat, and it's not close. But 3 initiative, again, like lets you get the jump on them so that you can go deal damage before they shoot at you, right? And then you're pretty happy with that one. So this is, 3rd place, I would say. Again, it's not as good as the other ones, but it's half decent. Look at the other options here, things that I would actually recommend. Obviously, there's only the one optical slot, so of course we know what's here. For Neural Toner, again, the only other options are hacker stuff or multi-classing. So hey, it's worth noting that like if you're playing as a Scourge or an Agent EX, you can't get Neural Toner. Again, Neural Accelerator. Okay, this is only the 3rd best implant, so like it's not a huge deal. I'm not like gonna cry over it. It's not a big lost opportunity. But hey, you're missing out on arguably the 3rd best to learn Dissolve. Which, to be fair, if I had the choice between like get Neural Accelerator or learn Dissolve, I pick learn Dissolve. One thing I actually should be willing to do on more of my characters is just go multi-class in a Scourge on those who can do it. Again, I don't care about these armors; these don't matter to me literally at all. But getting Dissolved to say I'm going to clean up all the corpses as we move around, I think is pretty reasonable to multi-class people in. Now, of course, my Gunslinger Soldier literally can't do that. My Sniper could, but my Sniper Soldier, he can't do that either. Again, I would rather have Savagery than Dissolve, which means I'll take Neural Accelerator and get initiative and go first. That's not a problem. The Swine slot lets you get Gunlink. I don't think Gunslinger is as strong as Soldier, but it's still a pretty cool class overall. Okay, other things that matter here. Again, I think SynthMuscle is probably better than Recoil. But Recoil is not bad, I want to be clear, right? This, again, gives you 8 attribute points. Cool stuff. The thing that hurts here is the price tag is actually pretty meaningful. Now, if you're not playing on half money like I am, this is not a big deal. You can get 2 of these per mission pretty easily. So, hey, this gives me 8 attributes that I care about. This gives me 2. But the reason strength is an attribute, and I actually think it's, reasonably decent, is the recoil control. They buffed it, I think, last month to be 2% minus recoil per attribute point. And that means this 4 strength is minus 8% recoil. Not bad. I go for this one, and I'm getting minus 34% recoil. I suddenly don't ultra need Iron Grip, or if I do, and they fix the bugs around recoil getting counted in weird ways, I just no longer have to care, and I'm clearly just not taking recoil anymore. I even could ignore a flat 4, so if I run up, take my shot, I have no accuracy penalty whatsoever. I don't want to clown on this. It's currently unneeded because Iron Grip is so overpowered, and potentially there's some bugs around how recoil works or something. I mean, something is clearly wrong, don't get me wrong, like, something is wrong. I don't know what it is exactly, but In the current version of the game, you don't need this because Iron Grip is just that good. But in a world where you're like, actually, I need to shoot my assault rifles and help me out here. Now, you probably just go for rank 1, right? Like, the delta here for... I mean, okay, 230k is like not actually a big deal. Like, you can stomach that. You know, for the 5% and -2. But in a world where you're actually having this happen, right? If you're going to generate, let's say, 40 recoil on a turn, 5% here is 2 recoil, right? 5% of 40 is 2? No, that's not right. Yeah, 5% is not 20th. Yeah, it's 2. So if you can generate 40 recoil on a turn, which is like pretty normal for shooting full auto twice, this is worth 4 accuracy. Okay, 4% more damage only in turns where you're going to shoot full auto twice. Not huge, right? Like that's not a very large difference. If this price tag is the difference between you being able to like buy one or buy like a display link, which by the way, 90k. All right, well, you know what I take? I take the display link. Neural Accelerator here for 3 attribute points and 3 initiative. Okay, that's 200k in and of itself. Okay, that's actually like kind of the price tag. I'd probably take this over the 5% recoil, right? Over the better legs, but okay, I think there's a real discussion here when Iron Grip is not bugged or you're not in Soldier. I think this is very, very real if you're not in Soldier. Otherwise, just SynthMuscle is just like, here, have some move speed, have more often than not +1 initiative, have 8% recoil reduction, you're chilling, right? Oh, if you're playing a melee character, obviously the choice is this. You want kinetic damage upgrade, you want accuracy, you want move speed, all fine stuff there. Okay, for the skeleton slot, the first one does not slow you down. 3 strength is fine. Again, call it 2% more power. Do I care about health or wound resist? No, not at all. But if I have an open slot, I will take -6% recoil. I will take 3% kinetic damage upgrade. Is it sick? No. If I'm swimming in money and nothing else to do, I'll take the 18-day downtime. Again, the downtime is actually the biggest price. Like, this is not worth ever putting in because 18 days is the long-ass time without someone you care about. Like, would you put this on someone you don't care about? Why spend the money? When they can sit in a sim stream trainer for 3 weeks and like actually become useful, you know? So yeah, it's probably like a little bit too slow. And then, you know, going from bone grafts 1 to like max bone grafts here 5, it's like I get 2 strength for -7 move speed. Nope, never. Nope, never, never. Right? If this gave me 7, you know, +7 reflex, or like, you know, 7 more strength, aka 10 strength. Okay, sure. It's, you know, this is -7 reflex in, you know, movement speed. Do I care about wound res? No. Do I care about health? No. Is 2 strength to make up for 7 move speed? Absolutely not. Okay, I would never do this then, right? And these are all just like lesser versions of that, right? 5, 6, 7 move speed for, you know, 1 strength, 2 strength, you know, a little bit of health. No, right? I would, you know, this is the worst, not bad thing, but it would always go last. Skin slots are decent here. Of course, you can become a Chameleon Sheath. You can become a Vanguard, which limits you to not wearing heavy armor. You get 20 stealth crit damage, which, like, low-key, if this didn't force you to multi-class, I would just implant this just for the stealth crit. If the guards only hear gunfire and aren't told to go investigate with the AI and they don't see a corpse, you can stealth crit them. Even if you've been spotted, if all they've heard is gunfire, you can stealth crit them. And so would I take 20 crit damage for surprise attacks? Yeah, that's pretty good stat. I would take that stat. It's not as good as the you know, eye implant, right? But like, I'd go for that. The only other options here are the durable plating. Worth noting, they both have minus move speed. They're both pretty harsh, to be honest. If you're gonna build it at all, I don't know. I mean, you can take the base version, right, and get -6 move speed for 60 health. I think the skeleton implant's just literally strictly better than this. Right, I'm pretty sure skeleton 2 or skeleton 3 is just better than durable plating. Now, durable plating is cheaper and takes 9 days, not 18. But like, again, I would never take 6 move speed for 60 health because these stats don't matter to me at all, and move speed does. Worth noting though that move speed is additive, so in a world where you've got a lot of move speed from reflex, you've got a lot of move speed from coordinated charge being on, a lot of move speed from all the attribute nodes on Cyber Sword or Vanguard. Okay, right, those all add up. And if you're at like 130% move speed, going down to 124 is not as meaningful, right? You know, this is now -4% multiplicative move speed. Okay, it's a little bit more ignorable, but again, these aren't stats as far as I'm concerned, so meh. Durable plating 2, again, kind of more of the same. Move speed gets penalized by another 4%. You get a little bit more health, you get some armor. Neat, but again, I'm not ever going to care about that one. The other option, though, is the heart slot. These are actually kind of decent. So the 2 regen cores, you know, the primary benefit is, okay, 10 days downtime's not too bad. 190k, not too bad. I get 2 attributes, so this is like become 1.5% stronger. Is that awesome? No. Is it fine? Yeah. If you're going to go down for the nap anyway, spend the 100k and get injury time down, sure. My understanding, I could be wrong about this one, is a little bit conjecture, is that the game adds up injury time every time you take 20% of your max health in a given attack. And so it's like, I'm going to be down for 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, 7 days, 8 days, 9 days, 10 days, whatever, based on how many times you got hit and your wound resistance rolls, right? My understanding is the sum total of your injury time factors into whether or not you get a wound itself. And so I believe, and again, this is conjecture, I could be wrong, that minus 25% injury time will actually make you take wounds less often. Again, I could be wrong about that, but I believe that is how the systems interact. And so in a case where you are taking some damage, minus 50% injury time is actually meaningful in terms of long-term economics. And just, I mean, your character is maxing it, so of course. The other option, though, is going for the Titan Heart. You know, 1 or 2 points in will, 30 to 60 health, some wound resist, sure. Now, for what it's worth, if you are actually going to be playing, actually, for your hackers, this is actually useful. So will is almost the second best hacker stat, because taking stress is sometimes unavoidable. Also, specifically for Dade, his base health is low enough that he automatically is eligible for a stress roll every time he crosses laser wires. If you can buff his health by at least 11, realistically 15, he can actually get out from under that. And so, lo and behold, giving him Titan Heart Sys 1.0 puts him out under the threshold if you want to spend for a little bit more to give him 250 health. So that now if you take a CPU escalation and it does 24 damage, it's under the stress threshold, and 2 points in will means 4 stress res. Now, is 4 stress res sick? No, not really. But like, if you have money, it's kind of free. End of the day, right? Like, heart slot, kind of meh. Skeletal slot, kind of meh. Skin slot, kind of meh. Ocular slot, pretty good. Leg slot, pretty good. Neural toner, pretty good. Well, neural toner is amazing for a hacker, but neural accelerator or whatever for these guys, quite good, right? Quite playable. So yeah, I'm putting in SynthMuscle here in my Cyberknight. I've got the display link in already. I should be very willing to throw down the eye implants on my 2 hackers. That's going to be very reasonable for me. Putting SynthMuscle in my secondary Vanguard, right? And so it makes people going in for surgery, editing the trainer, which again I forgot to in the previous episode. I'm going to keep building more of this composite autolit, since it's, yeah, I'm missing out on 3 range compared to like a heavy raptor or something, but actually the comparison's like not that poor, right? So the autolits in red or green, it's like, well, I have the chance of going full auto. Damage per shot's not any better, but it's the flexibility, right, where it's like I'm only going to go quiet sometimes, and full auto with savagery is going to be more than good enough. And in the other cases where it's a sidearm because I'm like out of ammo and I'm action point starved in a combat mission, I would like this with an actual damage muzzle. And so the flexibility makes me say you should go for an SMG. Super early on, I think you can just like stick with basic pistols, especially because stealth crits are a meaningful damage increase and you don't have savagery to carry you. But when you get to this point in time where you're crafting level 6 weapons, I would probably just go for an SMG, and it's going to be good enough. It's not going to be quite as good in many contexts as the pistols, but it'll be good in enough cases. That's how I feel anyway. Anyway, yeah, crafting one of these. Oh yeah, I could sell these to Diego. Try to get him to limit break. I don't think I have enough things to sell him though. I can double check. Yeah, we'll abort this for now. But I don't believe I have enough things that I can sell Diego. If I look at only high quality stuff and I say, what does Diego buy? I could sell some of my higher quality stuff. Like, I don't know if I want to sell this because it's an assault rifle craft piece. But like, if I wanted to sell some of my melee weapons, sell the mono cutter, sell the doom hammer, stuff like that. Maybe off camera, and if I let it break, I'll show you the new stuff. But I'm gonna take a break for now. Next episode should be the new map, so I'll see you next time. Bye bye.